Are you worried about your binge eating, especially now coming up towards Christmas? So, hi, I'm Vanessa McLennan and I'm a hypnopsychotherapist and help you with all things binge eating and overeating. So if you like what you see on this channel, please click on the subscribe button and click on the bell, and let's talk about some tips to help you with your binge, and I'm here to talk about some tips to help you cope with your binge eating, especially over Christmas. If you haven't suffered from binge eating disorder, I don't think you can grasp just how challenging it is coming up to this time of year. You know, we're faced with so much food in front of us, so many parties to go to. Well, perhaps not this year then, unfortunately, but there's still family to see, and you know, there's still then gatherings at perhaps workstations where there is just so much more food, and we're expected to also join in and eat with it, and it can just be so challenging when faced with, you know, plates of food, cakes, desserts, you know, really heavy fatty foods, and then of course there are the, you know, great big boxes of sweets that might get bought for us, and the cakes and the chocolates, and it's like, oh, it can just be really hard to put that to the side and leave it and perhaps not binge on it, or it's just there in front of us. And you know, of course that is really, really tempting, you know, fate, isn't it? So how do we cope? Here are some tips for you. Allow yourself to have it. So this is, you know, just a bit counterintuitive, because what I'm saying to you is, you know, just allow yourself to have some of it. You know, I think at this time of year there can be such an urge to restrict ourselves, to be like, no, I'm not going to have that. No, that's not good for me. No, if I eat that, then I'm going to put on weight. So no, I don't want any of it. And then we end up being miserable, or we don't enjoy it, and then we get really, really stressed because we're thinking about what not to eat, and there's all the food in front of us. Whereas actually, if we just go deep breath, you know, allow ourselves to go, okay, what do I really want? What food do I want? Actually, I do really love that chocolate. Actually, I do really love that cake. And it's like, right, well, I'm just going to have one bit of cake and that's it. Actually, I am just going to have, you know, a few of those chocolates and then that's it. So it's not denying ourselves and allowing ourselves to happen, and just being aware so that we can enjoy the taste, but then be very mindful about not overindulging on it. And mindfulness. So mindfulness then can play a big part in helping you to manage it all, especially over, you know, just this time when it's confronted with lots of food. It's just really mindfulness, paying attention to what it is that we're doing, what it is that we're thinking, why is it we want this food, am I only wanting it in stressful situations, you know, am I wanting it when everybody else has gone to bed, for instance, and there's just me, am I just eating in the car when nobody else is watching me? And it's like, take the pressure off yourself, because putting the pressure on ourselves to, you know, not eat, or to only eat a certain amount, or to, I can't have this but I can have this, and this has got so many calories, it's just, oh god, it's like overloading. It's just a bit too much. So instead it's like, right, just perhaps say to yourself, go with the flow, I'm going to work it out, but being able to go with the flow and just pay real close attention to what's, you know, what my trigger's going towards this food. Why am I eating? What is this about? What is it I'm feeling when I'm eating? How do I feel afterwards? And bringing in that level of curiosity and non-judgment, it allows us to then have a step to start, you know, that step to work from, where we can work forwards to help heal it. Setting boundaries. So if you are going to, you know, gatherings, parties, think about, and there's a bit of pre-planning as to how it is that you're going to manage it. So for instance, you might think, right, if I eat my dinner beforehand, then I won't be so hungry, and it's easier to say no afterwards. Or do I not want to eat my dinner, but then am I going to be really hungry? So it's just a bit of pre-planning as to how hungry do you think you're going to be, or if you know hunger doesn't play a part in it, what do you need to do to help prepare yourself for that? It's also coming up with your excuses as to your reasons, should I say, why you can say no. So, you know, no, I don't want that, no thank you. And it's getting comfortable with saying no to the food when someone's like there shoving it in your face. It's just saying, you know, you don't have to say that you're on a diet, but you just say, no, I don't fancy it. and that's okay. No, I don't want it, thank you very much. And that is okay. A lot of people might think that they're being rude, that it's being disrespectful to a host. No, it's not. If you don't want the food, you don't want the food. That is okay. You don't have to eat absolutely everything on your plate. You are allowed to just eat as much as you want, and so that's okay. I'm full up, thank you. I really can't eat anymore. So it's having mental rehearsals of those, so that when it gets to you being in that position, it makes it easier to say, no thanks, I don't want that food. Look after yourself. This season can be really stressful with, buying lots of presents and just pressure to be there, be somewhere, be with people, what you have to do, what you shouldn't do, and what food you have to prepare. And that just adds onto the stress of when we're trying to then manage our own eating, and sometimes our eating priorities get pushed right to the bottom, which means we end up eating a lot of crap, and then of course that makes us feel even worse. So it's just take the pressure off, go easy on ourselves, just start listening out for ourselves, looking out for ourselves a little bit more. Start being just that little bit kinder to yourself, which might be, allowing yourself just to have a cup of tea a day, having a bit of a rest every single day, taking deep breaths every single day. What do you need to do to start looking out for you and just making you a higher priority than everything else? The more that you can do that, then you can just relax and enjoy Christmas, because that's what it is about as well. It's just relaxing and enjoying it. So let me know your plans for this Christmas. Have a very happy Christmas, everyone.